Let's knock around Knockhill. Alright, so I've decided to break out the track guide series into its own thing, but we're able to do a what I consider maybe a decent time around Knockhill, about a second off the what I imagine the fast times are going to be. Use the Hyundai this week. I think it's better at taking the curbs probably, so we're giving that a go. And yeah, here you go. Here's the fast lap.
That was at 52.6. Sector 3's 0.2 off your best.
So the run up here, I don't think is as important as it was like in Spa, because even if I had a bad coming out of the last corner, I don't think that it's changed, like maybe a couple hundredths. But yeah, so here we're going in. Whoops, get this out of the way. Okay, so start braking about where this gravel pit starts, right? And we're in fifth. We're gonna drop down to fourth when we start braking here. We're gonna hit about, we start braking right about where the maybe a little bit before where the gravel pit starts, and we hit about 50% where we peak. I'm gonna hold it for a little bit here, and what we want to do is kind of crest this curb here, but you don't want to go too far over. I found that gets you a bit too airborne. We get a little airborne here anyway, but if you hit it too far to the right, you end up way more airborne than I think you can have control under. You're gonna hit the throttle a little bit to get the car back under control. You're pulling the car forward with your tires there, and then we're gonna come through here, and you can cut this a little bit more than I did, and that might be a little bit quicker. Like you can get your car where the middle line of your car is going over this curb here. I kind of gave up on trying to get more time out of this area here because I just kept on upsetting the car, and it would send me off track, so it wasn't as repeatable for me. So just kind of dab on the brakes just to get a little bit of turn in there, back on the throttle a little bit, and we're just gonna kind of pull through here, back on the brakes again, just getting the traction on the front of the car, and we're gonna trail brake out of this. We ideally do not want to hit that curb. You want to be right next to it, right next to it. If you hit this curb, it's going to wash you out a bit too far here. If you do hit the gravel, don't freak out. Just kind of keep your foot in it a little bit and use the throttle and your wheels to kind of guide the car back on track. Front wheel drive can save you that way. And we're going to get back up to full throttle. You can keep it full throttle going down here. It took me a while to figure that out. And then we want to, ideally, this whole section is pretty technical, and like doing all right at it has a lot to do with your lap time. So yeah, we're kind of gonna dab the brakes as we crest this hill here. and just get us a little bit of turn in as we go. Kind of land in the center of the car up with these stanchions, bollards, I don't know, whatever you call them. And then we're kind of lining up our car to go, the middle of it to go over this curb is kind of what we're aiming for. Just like that. Oh, ah. So, get back into the cockpit here. We're back full throttle. A fair bit of steering. Like I used a lot more steering in this than I'm used to with TCRs. Just this whole course is all understeer in corners. But yeah, full throttle through here. And we're gonna zip up here. We're gonna hit our brakes right about where the blue starts there. Yeah, about 50%. Hold it for a little bit just to get your turn in going. Ease off, and then just kind of start to throttle. Get going again. We don't want to hit this curb if we can avoid it. I can't remember if I did here on this lap or not. It took quite a bit to get this time going for me. Yep, just want to settle and then keep the throttle going. Don't want to hit the grass here, but again, if you do, it's not the end of the world. You just want to use your front wheel drive to kind of pull you out, but yeah, just use as much of that as you can. Hit our cockpit back in here. And this corner coming up is probably the one that I have the most trouble with. I can't seem I gain or lose a second on this this hairpin here. We'll see how we took it on this one. I've been trying to use there's this darker patch of grass as my braking point, and I'm kind of like trying to decide if I want to go a little bit ahead, a little behind, right on it. But this time was decent, so we're gonna go here and so we're doing about maybe halfway between this bit of dirt and the darker bit of grass as far as where we start applying our brakes. Yeah, and then we're just gonna hit maybe 50%. I'd say that's 60. Hold it, start trailing off, and we're gonna start downshifting. I think we get down to first here, just kind of holding the brakes. And from what I can tell, this is one of those corners where just the shortest distance is the quickest. We're just trail braking up down to first here. And just kind of coming up onto the red section of track there. Cutting it a little bit. We're even on, yeah. We're even on the inside of the dirt there a little bit. We'll go back through that whole thing from the outside here. So let's get on the brakes, start downshifting up kind of steadily, and come back up, cross over there, back on the throttle, and just go out of it, and there you go. That is a 52,569, and it's a Knockhill. It took me a while to get that going. We had quite a few laps, and they were I was fairly in the 52s, 53s for a lot of it. Again, I think, as much as this first set of corners is tricky, I would focus on getting some speed through here, because once you can do that semi consistently, I think that last hairpin is going to be where a lot of if you can get consistent on that last hairpin, I think that that's going to serve you better. Both of those are going to be the places where lap time is made or lost. Be careful. It's a short track, and whenever you're drafting somebody, you're going to have to back things off a fair bit, I think. Anyway, that's the lap. So there you have it, folks. Like I said, I think it might be wise not to go full out with those curbs every lap in a race. Just because unless you can get it under control and be super consistent with it, I think that there could be some issues with, like, if you send yourself flying, this race over, you're gonna hit a wall or something like that, and you won't be able to finish, or you have to tow, and all the time towing is gonna put you like a lap down or something like that. So I will be a bit more conservative when I actually do the races, and especially when you're in tight with a lot of folks, you're not going to be able to hit those times. Anyhow, hit the subscribe button if you want to see more of these. I'm going to try and do them every week. We'll see how it goes. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get good times every week, but I'm pretty happy so far. And yeah, thumbs up if you like the video, thumbs down if you didn't. If you've got any tips for me, leave them in the comments. I would appreciate it. There's plenty of time to be had here, obviously. And yeah, head on over to twitch.tv/thepiltdownman if you want to see how we do in the actual races. Bye.